This happened to me in the fall of 2019 when I was living in Portland, Oregon. I was 24 at the time and desperately searching for a new apartment. My lease was ending in 3 weeks, and I'd been having the worst luck finding anything affordable in my budget. Every decent place I found was either already rented or way out of my price range. I had been scrolling through apartment listings for hours when I came across a post on Craigslist that seemed too good to be true. A one-bedroom apartment in a nice neighborhood, recently renovated, hardwood floors, and the rent was $200 below market rate. The photos looked legitimate, showing a clean, modern space with plenty of natural light. The listing said to contact Dave for a showing, and it included a phone number. I texted the number immediately, half expecting not to hear back or to find out the listing was fake, but Dave responded within minutes. He was friendly and professional, explaining that the unit had just become available because the previous tenant had to move suddenly for work. He said he was showing the apartment that evening at 6:30 p.m. if I was interested. I jumped at the chance and confirmed I'd be there. He sent me the address, which I recognized as being in a quiet residential area I'd driven through before. The building was a converted old house split into 4 units. Dave told me to meet him at the side entrance and that he'd be waiting for me. I should have found it strange that he wanted to meet so late, but I was too excited about possibly finding a place. I told my roommate Sarah where I was going and that I'd text her when I was done. She barely looked up from her laptop and just said, "Okay, be safe." I arrived at the address around 6:25 p.m. The sun was already setting, and the street was lined with old trees that created long shadows across the pavement. The building itself was a large Victorian-style house painted dark blue with white trim. It looked a bit run down, but not abandoned. There were lights on in what appeared to be the ground floor units, which made me feel better. I walked around to the side entrance as instructed. There was a separate door there with a small porch area. The porch light was on, and I saw a man standing near the door. He was tall, maybe in his mid-40s, wearing a button-down shirt and jeans. He had a friendly smile and waved when he saw me approaching. "You must be Rachel," he said, extending his hand. "I'm Dave." I shook his hand and nodded. His grip was firm, but not uncomfortable. He seemed normal enough, which immediately put me at ease. "Thanks so much for meeting me on such short notice," I said. "No problem at all," he replied, pulling out a set of keys. "I'm glad someone's interested. Like I mentioned, this unit just opened up, so you're actually the first person to see it. That should have been my first real warning sign. Why would someone list an apartment and then schedule a showing for the very same day with the first person who responded? But I was too focused on the possibility of finally finding a place. Dave unlocked the door, and we stepped into a small entryway with stairs leading up to the second floor. The hallway was dimly lit by a single overhead bulb. The walls were a dated yellow color, and the carpet on the stairs looked worn but clean. "The apartment is on the second floor, Unit 2B, Dave said, gesturing for me to go ahead of him. I climbed the stairs with him following behind. At the top, there was a short hallway with 2 doors. Dave moved past me and unlocked the one on the right. He pushed it open and reached inside to flip on the lights. "After you," he said. I walked in and immediately noticed something was off. The apartment didn't match the photos from the listing at all. The floors weren't hardwood, they were old linoleum that was peeling at the edges. The walls were a dingy beige, not the bright white from the pictures, and there was no furniture, which made sense for a vacant apartment, but the photos had shown a staged unit with a couch and a bed. "This doesn't look like the photos," I said, turning to face Dave. He was standing in the doorway, not coming fully inside. His friendly expression hadn't changed. "Oh, those were from the unit downstairs. This one's the same layout, just hasn't been staged yet. But same renovations, same everything." That didn't make sense, but I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he'd just used stock photos or grabbed images from the wrong listing. "Can I look around?" I asked. "Of course," he said, finally stepping inside. But instead of staying in the main room, he closed the door behind him. I heard the distinct sound of the deadbolt sliding into place. My stomach dropped. "Why did you lock the door?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. "Oh, it locks automatically. Old building quirk," he said with a small laugh. "I have to lock it from the inside or it'll swing open." That wasn't how doors worked, but I didn't want to challenge him directly. I needed to stay calm and assess the situation. I turned and walked further into the apartment, away from him, trying to act normal. The main room was empty except for some paint cans stacked in one corner. There was a small kitchen area to the left, separated by a counter. To the right was a hallway that I assumed led to the bedroom and bathroom. I walked toward the hallway, and Dave followed, staying about 6 feet behind me. "Bedroom's back there, and the bathroom's the first door on the left," he said. I walked down the narrow hallway and pushed open the bathroom door. It was small and outdated, with cracked tiles and a rust-stained sink. But what caught my attention was the window above the toilet. It was small, maybe 2 feet by 2 feet, and it had been painted shut. There were also marks on the wall, like someone had scraped at the paint around the window frame. My heart started racing. I backed out of the bathroom and glanced toward the bedroom. The door was open, and I could see it was completely empty, except for a single folding chair in the center of the room, facing the door. Who puts a chair like that in an empty apartment? "What do you think so far?" Dave asked. He was closer now, standing at the end of the hallway, blocking my path back to the main room. "It's not really what I'm looking for," I said, trying to sound casual. "I think I'm going to keep looking." "Really? But you haven't even heard the best part," he said, taking a step closer. "The rent includes all utilities. Heat, water, electric. You won't find a deal like that anywhere else." "I appreciate it, but I need to go," I said firmly, moving toward him. He didn't move. He just stood there, his smile fading slightly. "You just got here. Don't you want to see the bedroom? It's got great closet space." "No, thank you. I need to leave now." I tried to step around him, but he shifted to block me. It wasn't aggressive, but it was deliberate. "Dave, I need to go," I repeated, my voice shakier now. "I really think you should look at the bedroom," he said. His tone had changed. It wasn't friendly anymore. It was insistent. Every instinct in my body screamed at me to run. I took a step back, and he took a step forward. "I'm leaving," I said loudly, hoping someone in the other units might hear me. He didn't respond. He just stared at me with this blank expression. I made a split-second decision. I lunged to the right, trying to push past him into the main room. He grabbed my arm, but I jerked away and ran toward the front door. My hands were shaking as I reached for the deadbolt. I could hear him behind me, his footsteps heavy on the linoleum. I unlocked the door and yanked it open, practically throwing myself into the hallway. I didn't look back. I just ran down the stairs as fast as I could, nearly tripping on the last few steps. I burst through the side entrance and sprinted to my car. My hands were shaking so badly I could barely get my key in the ignition. I looked up at the building and saw Dave standing in the doorway of the side entrance, watching me. He wasn't running after me or yelling. He was just standing there with his hands in his pockets, completely still. I drove away, my heart pounding so hard I thought I might pass out. I didn't stop until I was at least 10 blocks away. Then I pulled over and called 911. The police took my statement and went to the address I gave them. They called me back about an hour later and told me the building was actually abandoned. The units I'd seen lights in from the outside, those were just lights that had been left on, probably by squatters. The building had been condemned 6 months earlier due to code violations and was scheduled for demolition. They searched the apartment I'd been in and found the chair in the bedroom. The building had been condemned 6 months earlier due to code violations and was scheduled for demolition. They searched the apartment I'd been in and found the chair in the bedroom. But they also found something else, a bag under the chair containing zip ties, duct tape, and a knife. They never found Dave. The phone number he texted me from was a burner, and the Craigslist post had been deleted. The detective told me that several other women had reported similar apartment listings in the area over the past year, all with male landlords who wanted to meet in the evening for showings. None of the other women had actually gone to the showings. I was the only one who did. I still don't know what would have happened if I'd gone into that bedroom, and I never want to find out. The moral of this story is simple. Trust your gut. If something feels wrong, it probably is. And never, ever go to an apartment showing alone, especially in the evening. Trust your gut. If something feels wrong, it probably is. And never, ever go to an apartment showing alone, especially in the evening. Subscribe for more true scary stories.